Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. An absolute pleasure to have you here with us today. Huge congrats on this incredible follow-up movie. Seeing the reaction to that first film must have just been phenomenal. But did it also give you trepidation about how to start this next one? Were you involved a bit in the kind of shaping of it, the adaptation?
Yes to both. We definitely were a lot more creatively involved as like, executive producers in the second, and which was really cool and very very exciting to take the feedback from the first one and keep it in mind when we were sort of helping shape with the writer Crystal and director Justin.
Yeah.
But I tried my best not to put the pressure of how successful the first film went. I would have gotten in my head, but it's hard not to.
Yeah. I think just to probably piggyback off that, it's hard to, you can't ignore like the success that the first one had, and you honestly don't want to, like, you want to appreciate it and you want to like celebrate that. But then going to the second, because we didn't have like the source material of the first book, because there is no second book at that time, so we kind of had to just trust what we knew about our characters and where this story would go. And yeah, luckily, in hindsight, like very luckily, we were able as actors to really sit in on these rooms and shape this movie into what it was, which is like the creative dream, to be honest.
Stepping back onto set, into the shoes of these characters, I mean, it must feel amazing when you've already got that familiarity and also the shorthand you have with each other. But we find them in very different places. And I think this one's really leaning into, their vulnerabilities, the pressures that both of them are facing about their futures. So was it kind of interesting to sort of have that familiarity, but also these new challenges of where the emotional state is of each of the characters?
For me personally, it was a lot of kind of referring back to the first one, knowing the decisions that Drayton made, but then also understanding the second one and knowing what we were trying to achieve now being in college, and really just understanding the tone of the film that we're making, and not, if you start to take it too serious, if you start to like really overthink it, it could go in a different direction. And we wanted to keep this as grounded as possible, as realistic as possible, while also not ignoring what fans loved about the first one so much. So like blending the two at times became not complicated, just sometimes a little tricky with like, how do we give them exactly what they want, but then also try to teach our viewers that not everything in life has a fairy tale ending, at least yet, So there's a lot of that.
Okay.
A very similar answer, exactly what he said. And I think some of the challenges that I had was allowing Dallas to really get angry over certain things. Like, I think that as Sienna was difficult because, especially like knowing like our characters, it feels scary. I think I felt like a viewer in that moment of like, no, I don't want them to like break up. I don't want this. But then that made me reflect over who Dallas is and like the integrity of her character, and I liked that. But it was hard to feel okay with it in the moments. Like for instance, and I won't spoil it, but there's that moment taking a call during Skylar's performance. Like, I think as Sienna, I feel way too aware of what's going on, but then like Dallas is obviously blinded by love, and like there's things like that difficult, yeah.
And I guess both of you coming from quite different backgrounds, you've sort of transitioned from the social media world, you've come from a more traditional background. How do you kind of work together on set? And is there something that you can kind of feed off each other and learn from each other in that respect?
Noah brought this like fresh energy to set because, especially in the first one, it was like his first movie and he crushed it. But like even in the second, like the excitement was still there, and like the hard work and the passion that I think sometimes is lost and gets a little bit stale, and the things you overlook because you're so used to it. Like, I'm still a baby in the industry, it feels like, and so things still feel new. But to see it with someone who also approaches it with so much passion and love and hard work, I think it genuinely inspired everyone else on set. And like we all worked harder because Noah did.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of just asking questions and staying curious and being a sponge wherever I could. obviously it was easy doing that, having no prior experience in this space, and so I didn't have anything to refer to. So it was purely, this is going to be my reference point for future projects. Is, well, on Sideline we did it this way, you know what I mean? So I needed, or I wanted to make sure I learned as much as I could, and honestly just stayed present and enjoyed the experience. And she made it easy, and as well as all the cast and crew. It was just such a delight to work with them. And I was like, if all my projects are gonna be like this, I love acting, like, this is gonna be great. And they made sure to remind me they're not all like this, so don't get used to it. Exactly. I said it very high. Having the first movie that I've been a part of have a sequel, and like, I'm very grateful. I'm very lucky. So
Maybe a third.
Yeah.
potentially a third.
Hopefully.
We hope.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with me. Huge congrats on this film.
Thank you so
Can't
much.
wait for everyone else to see it.
Oh, thank you.